Hello everyone and welcome back to Minecraft Super Flat. And today we have an update on the world. I have been a busy boy lately, and we are going to show you around this village and take our first steps into a whole new chapter of this world. As we can see here, I have some path blocks made out of some acacia wood, and we also have our fence put in. And I also planted these nice little apple trees all the way around. I had a little bit of a grove of apple trees back here, and I was needing the wood for them. And so as I was cutting them down to make these fences, we took the saplings and planted them around just to add some scenery around this specific little part of the village. So just to double check in on what we did before, here is the first house that we ever made on the last video. As you can see, it has the window. We did double beds just to give, more places to sleep. It's not perfect, but it's, a setup for now. We got the double beds in this one as well, and the two windows. I made this one too big by accident, but I went ahead and mirrored it over here on this side, just so that we could keep everything symmetrical. And we just did a reverse color palette on the right-hand side over here, as opposed to the left, or left and right, vice versa. However, we also put this fence in so that our villagers won't get killed by the slimes and stuff. We will have to work out something for light later, but hopefully we can get that figured out. We do have a wandering trader in here with one of his alpacas. We got some horses, and I saw some deer in here earlier. Let's go ahead and come up here. Here is our last two houses as well. Bear with me just one moment here. And we are also in the process of creating the Well of Life, which is what this is going to be called. The Well of Life is something a little bit special, and we'll come back to that in just a moment. But before we start talking about the Well of Life, first we're going to take a walk around the property. And on the outside of the property here, you can see we have these beautiful trees in the back of each one of these little houses, and we have the fencing going all the way around. And this is just for safety mostly, but it's also a good way for me to be able to come out here and get things like apples, which is basically one of our primary sources of food right now, where we are dealing with a super flat world. I also have some grapes here. And let's go ahead and put these grapes up. And then we will come around this side. We have another wandering trader with his alpacas over here. He hasn't come in yet, but that's perfectly fine. And we got another one over here. We got plenty of wandering traders running around, and every one of them are interested in this new little village. I guess it's probably their first time seeing a village. So let's go ahead and come on down this way, and we'll get started on the care package and then the Well of Life. So the idea of the Well of Life, as I mentioned in a previous video, well, I was going to leave myself a care package, and out here in the barren wastes, I did just that. So let's come on up here and look at this care package. It is a double chest, so I gave myself an extra double chest. Sue me. Inside this chest is 4 items, and they are very important items. We have a lava bucket and a water bucket, and these are going to be used for a future project. Hopefully we'll be able to make a cobblestone generator with this, so that we can add cobblestone into the world. But then here is the very important part, and this is a monster spawner and a villager spawn egg. And for anybody that's never seen this before, this is going to be something very cool. We're going to use that monster spawner and that villager spawn egg to create something a little bit interesting. So let's go ahead and put our wooden axe here so I can take this chest with us. We got our little care package set up here. Let's come on back to our village, our little home in the wasteland of the super flat. Let's get started here on the Well of Life, because this is going to be where our villagers come from. The monster spawner is the same thing that you see in the world naturally generating whenever it spawns monsters into the world. And obviously it spawns things like skeletons and spiders and zombies and all that good stuff. But for anybody that doesn't know, you can also use them to create villagers. So we put our spawner down, we put our spawn egg in there for the villagers, and now villagers will begin to spawn just like monsters do, and we will have new little villagers running around here in our little world. Let me go ahead and get this finished set up here. That way I can just be done with this well. There we go. And our first little villager is born. We have all kinds of little villagers being born. And the cool thing about this villager spawner is that they spawn in with jobs. So as you see here, this one already has a job. He's a weaponsmith. This one here already has a job as well. He's a toolsmith. So this will help us because we don't have the blocks to give them jobs. This villager spawner will pop them in with jobs already. Oh, that's a little bit of a problem, isn't it? Let's see here. We're going to get you out of there, buddy. Just bear with me a second. I'll get you right out of there. There we go. I know how we'll fix that. We'll make it to where the little well of life there can spawn them right out of there, and then they can just walk out. So there we go. We have our well of life set up. We have our villager spawner. We got a cleric and weaponsmith and a toolsmith. It looks like a fisherman and a farmer, maybe? Maybe a farmer or a fisherman? Another fisherman. We got 2 fishermen. Very cool. And now our little world's starting to come together. We have little villagers being born, and they will eventually inhabit these houses. Now, the next big thing I got to figure out is a light source. Because these little guys are basically helpless, as it sits right now. And as far as, you know, protecting themselves and light. So we're going to have to figure out something to do with light. And I think in the next episode, we will be creating a cobblestone generator, perhaps, and see if we can get that set up that way. But now that I have little friends here with me to hang out, and we have a village here in the super flat, thank you guys so much for coming to hang out with me today. Thank you for checking in on the village and for coming to see the birth of the Well of Life that we have introduced villagers into this world. Until next time, I've been Ham. You guys have been great. And I think we're starting to get a little bit overpopulated here already. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.